Power does not announce itself. It does not shout. It does not ask permission. Power waits, and while others chase it loudly, power selects the quiet ones who understand something dangerous. Control is never seized. It is granted by those who feel safe enough to lower their guard. Most people believe dominance looks aggressive. Raised voices, threats, force. That belief keeps them weak. True power wears calm like armor, because the moment someone fears you, they resist. But when they underestimate you, they invite you inside. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. The most dangerous ruler is not the tyrant. It is the man who appears reasonable, patient, and fair, until every decision somehow benefits him alone. People do not rebel against what feels familiar. They rebel against what feels imposed. Here is the first rule of silent domination. Never be the obvious threat. Let others argue, let others compete, let others expose themselves. While they fight for the spotlight, you study weaknesses, and weakness always reveals itself when people try to prove strength. People show you exactly how to control them if you listen. Ego needs validation, fear needs reassurance, ambition needs opportunity. Offer just enough, never everything. Control grows strongest when people believe their success was their own idea. Never rush authority. Those who climb too fast are watched closely. Instead, become useful. The advisor, the problem solver, the quiet constant. Power attaches itself to reliability long before it crowns leadership. Once people rely on you, removing you feels dangerous, and fear of loss is stronger than desire for gain. This is how influence becomes invisible, and invisible influence is nearly impossible to resist. Understand this clearly. You do not need everyone to like you. You only need them to need you. Affection fades, dependency endures. And once dependency is established, the balance shifts quietly. They begin adjusting themselves, their opinions, their actions, their loyalties, without you ever asking. That is when power becomes permanent. This is only the beginning, because once control is invisible, it can be tightened without resistance. And what comes next is something far more dangerous than authority. It is obedience that believes it is free. The most effective form of control is not force, it is agreement. When people believe they chose a path freely, they defend it fiercely, even when it quietly works against them. This is the art of manufactured consent, and once mastered, resistance disappears. People do not follow logic. They follow emotion and later invent logic to justify it. Speak to their pride, and they will call it reason. Feed their fear, and they will name it coercion. The manipulator never argues facts. He shapes feelings, then steps aside. Here is the second rule of Machiavellian power. Let others repeat your ideas for you. The moment an idea leaves your mouth, it can be resisted. The moment it comes from theirs, it becomes truth. Plant suggestions, never conclusions. People are most controllable when they feel intelligent, so allow them to discover what you already planned. Ask guiding questions. Offer incomplete information. Let their mind fill the gaps, because the mind defends what it builds itself. Never demand loyalty openly. That exposes need, and need weakens authority. Instead, reward alignment subtly, punish deviation quietly. People will learn the rules without ever hearing them spoken. Fear is useful, but unstable. Respect is better, but slow. The most powerful bond is gratitude. When people believe you saved them, guided them, or elevated them, they will protect you instinctively. Control deepens when responsibility spreads. If everyone shares blame, no one rebels. If everyone participates, no one escapes. This is how systems protect their architects. Never position yourself as the source of power. Position yourself as the guardian of stability. People fear chaos more than oppression, so they will cling to you, even when you are the one tightening the structure. Eventually, people begin policing themselves. They silence dissent, they correct behavior, they enforce loyalty. You no longer need to rule. The system rules for you. This is the moment true power is achieved, not when people fear you, not when they admire you, but when they believe life would collapse without you and cannot remember how it functioned before. There is a moment when influence crosses a line. Not visibly, not dramatically, it happens quietly. When people stop imagining alternatives, when the thought of change feels heavier than obedience, control has already hardened. At this stage, force becomes unnecessary. Direction replaces domination. You no longer push, you nudge. Small incentives, minor fears, subtle rewards. The system corrects itself before you ever need to act. This is where most fail. They reveal themselves too soon. Visibility weakens power. Presence invites scrutiny. The strongest position is psychological distance. Felt everywhere, seen nowhere. Never let people see the full structure. Give them fragments, compartments, partial truths. When no one understands the whole system, no one can dismantle it. A ruler commands obedience. An architect designs inevitability. Architects do not argue with resistance. They make resistance impractical. Change feels possible in theory, but impossible in reality. When opposition appears, do not crush it. Absorb it, redirect it, give it controlled outlets. People need the illusion of rebellion to believe they are free. Never destroy hope. Shape it. Hope aimed outward fuels escape. Hope aimed inward fuels compliance. Promise progress. Delay fulfillment. A future reward is the most effective chain. Eventually, people stop asking why. They ask how to survive within the rules. That is when obedience becomes cultural, not enforced. At the final stage, loyalty no longer matters. People will defend the system even if it harms them, because admitting the truth would mean admitting they were never free. This is irreversible power, not domination, not tyranny, but a structure so normalized that escape feels immoral. And the most dangerous part, no one remembers when the choice disappeared.